Okay. Okay, everybody.
Not gonna stand back here.
I guess.
But just so they can see me.
Okay.
Hi, everybody online. Welcome to Camp 101. I'm Maureen Gilio. I'm the Camp Acorn manager here. And we're doing a hybrid, so we're gonna try and remember to repeat my questions, y'all questions, so that they can hear us. For those of you online, we are we have the chat available, so if you have questions, just shoot them in the chat. Mimi, for my portion, will be monitoring, and then we will go ahead and switch. And also, this is Mimi Branham. Gosh, you and I are terrible at introducing other people. Oh, this is Mimi. She's at the Career Center. She's the director here on campus. So, we'll go ahead and get started. So, Camp Acorn, just so I know who all is interested in kind of Camp Acorn. Good. Okay. So Camp Acorn, it mirrors our school year pretty closely. Obviously, it's a little bit different because it's more camp-like. We do fun Friday events and things like that. But I always like to just give a smidge of kind of what the parish school is about, kind of our philosophy, our history a little bit. Good morning, welcome. And kind of go from there. So for those of you who are new and might not be familiar with parish, we were founded in 1983. So Robin Parrish founded this school, and that's where we get our name from. She herself did struggle with some speech and language needs as a child, and her safe space was summer camp in the Hill Country. So that's why a lot of if you've toured already or seen the campus, we have a lot of limestone, a lot of wood grains. We do sit on 17 acres.
I don't know. Can you guys hear online if someone will message me or in the chat?
And so she wanted to create a safe space for children as well, and kind of have that camp-like feel all around. So kind of our belief system here, we do serve children between the ages of 2 and 12. Every student here does have some form of language or learning need. It can look a little different in early childhood than elementary, and vice versa. But at our core, communication delays and learning differences is what we serve. We believe that every individual should have a voice. And it's our goal here at Parish to kind of help these children create a toolbox to build along the way that they can then take with them, you know, if they transition over out of Parish. Good morning. And we do this through creative and collaboration with others. So we do look at the whole child, and to do that, part of that is being a multidisciplinary kind of approach. So in our classrooms, we have our teachers, we have our SLPs. We also have the Career Center therapists who are running down those sidewalks every day to grab kiddos from class, bring them to the and in turn also collaborating with teachers.
So Michelle's asking, in display settings, you can switch the screen. We are seeing to presenter side, but we do want you guys to see the slides.
The slides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And if everyone can mute except the presenter, that would be helpful. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, Zoom is not our forte. We do it just one time a year and that's it.
Yep, that's it. Okay.
So if you'll help us, help you. If you want to go to the next slide. So one of the biggest things that we also focus on is creating a supportive and nurturing environment for our students. We do this obviously with, you know, obviously all of the teaching team and being thoughtful in our treatment and our interventions with our students. But also we have an experience-based curriculum. So we take our learning outdoors every day, all day, even hot summertime, we are outside learning. The lessons that, you know, our speech pathologists and our teachers are planning can always be implemented outside as well. And half the time kiddos don't know that they're learning outside, right? They're just playing. Obviously our goal too is to remediate that language and academic needs that each of our students do have. But then we do involve the parents. You guys are 100% part of the team. Number one on the team, because you know your child best. So really it's our hope to involve you as much as we can, even though we're here at school, you're there at home, but to collaborate and to generalize those skills. One of the things that we look at, we'll go to the next.
I thought I did, sorry.
You're okay.
Just-
So the way we do this for the school year is we have our elements of a successful learner, right here. We believe in seeing the whole child and giving interventions to the whole child, not just their communication needs, not just their learning. So obviously communication is in there, academics are in there, but we also believe in building their confidence and building their resilience in learning these hard things, right? We believe in helping them create independence for themselves and self-advocacy. So many of our kiddos don't feel comfortable speaking up in the things that they need. And it's our job and our hope to give them that toolbox that they can then do that with. And then also our social competencies like pragmatic social language, but also their social emotional, needs as well. So Camp Acorn, here's some of our sweet kiddos from last year, one of which mom is here. We have fun Fridays, and this is one of the pictures from one of our fun Fridays, just here. Hi. You're okay. Just here in the courtyard, we do fun Fridays, and every week they have a little snack in this, the popsicle week and all the face painting stuff, so. So camp, we have 3 programs under kind of the umbrella of Camp Acorn, the biggest of which is the language portion. If you want to go to the next one. So our language program, these are kind of the nuts and bolts of it. It's Monday through Friday, 9 to noon. It's $2,400 for the month, and your students are eligible for insurance reimbursement. So those speech pathologists are billing weekly. It is up to you to then take those billing logs and, put in for reimbursement. But overall, our program, the language program, we serve again kiddos between the ages of 2 and 12. And it's for the language portion is for those kiddos who do need that language intervention, who needs that language-rich environment, and who will have goals developed around that with the speech therapists. In our early childhood, this is kind of our nuts and bolts of early childhood. So we have 3 classes within our early childhood. Our kiddos range between the ages of 2 and about 5. So our emerging language level, which is kind of our beginner talkers, beginning communicators, our preschool level, and then our pre-primary. You'll notice, I thought it was a question. Yes, ma'am. You'll notice that we do have multi-age classrooms. The hope there is that, each child will have a peer match. One kiddo might be struggling with expressive language, the other might be struggling with play, and vice versa, but they can help support each other, obviously with the adults there as well, but peers learn so much from their friends, and just observing alone. So our hope is to, help in that manner. The professional team in our early childhood is pretty unique. We have speech therapists who are leading the classroom, so they're the active teachers, if you will, in the classroom. And then depending on the level in which classroom you're in, you'll have 1 or 2 paraeducators in there as well. There could be a total of 3 adults in the classroom to up to 10 students, right? Again, it looks a little different in each level, but for the most part, will be up to 10 students and about 3 adults. Your child will receive up to 15 hours. Good morning. You're okay. Yeah. Up to 15 hours of speech language interventions can improve throughout the week. So each week they'll be receiving that group intervention. They're going to focus on their play, their social pragmatic skills. They're going to practice negotiating with peers and stealing those toys. They're going to practice that language development and all within a group. Right. Under the language program, our elementary program, the big switch here is that the teachers are now leading the group. It's no longer the SLPs. The teachers or educators are leading the group just like they would in the classroom. But the SLPs are now more push-in type service, and your child would be receiving about 7 hours a week of speech language intervention. Okay, and their focus does become obviously a little bit different. They're still doing the language, they're still doing the social pragmatics, but they do a lot of what's called social thinking concepts in the elementary. Thinking about friends, thinking about yourself, things like that. So, and again, all in group learning. The age ranges are between 5 and 12. And again, you'll notice that we have those multi-age classrooms. Placement for elementary, it's based on their age, it's based on their skill, it's based on their peer matches. So various different things, but placement is according to kind of where they're at during the school year. I'm not gonna put a 5-year-old with a 7-year-old if I don't think they're gonna be able to mesh well or receive the same types of language interventions, right? Again, we have our certified educators, our speech pathologists, and there is one paraeducator. So the ratios are 2 adults, the educator and the paraeducator, to up to 10 students in elementary. Do you have any questions on the language program?
There's speech pathologists that you said educator, paraeducator, then
Yes, and the speech pathologist is there during camp time. They're not there daily, but they give up to 7 hours a week of speech push-in type services. Yeah, so they're coming in elementary and doing more lessons than they are meeting the full group. But that is,
are they there every day?
they are not there every day. They'll get during camp, the elementary kiddos get 7 hours of speech throughout the week.
Is that one, it's not there's one-on-one portions, right? But it's like a group learning.
No, it's all group. So everything that we do in our classrooms is all group.
Which is like when they first get there, they do like a one-on-one like evaluation for goal or.
No.
Okay.
Oh, for goal setting, like for the speech pathologists?
Yeah.
No, they don't do one-on-one, but they do take the first week to kind of observe kiddos, kind of get to know them. And then on the second week, on that Monday, they send goal letters home. And the first week, they're doing file reviews, they're learning with children, they're kind of seeing what their areas of strengths and weaknesses are. And then they'll develop goals based on that. Yeah, but there's never one-on-one.
So it's helping socially.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And as part of the application process for Camp Acorn, you'll have a teacher and a therapist questionnaire for your team to complete. So they're not gonna be going in blind. They're gonna know something.
Yeah, and we'll get into that too.
Where we have overlap in ages like preschool and primary,
Yes.
how is that a date of birth based cutoff or?
It can be date of birth, it can also be, if they're in like a pre-K 3 program versus a pre-K 4 program right now. And also again, peer matches, so placement has a lot of kind of question marks that we look at, down to the size of the child. I mean, we look at just about everything, but yes, there is a bit of an overlap between the age groupings. And I think mostly what I would say when we're looking at paperwork, if we see that they're in a pre-K 3 program and getting ready to move up to a pre-K 4 for next year, then we would place them in like that pre-primary level.
Got it.
So I think we're talking about speech.
Yes, the question was if we ever work with children on the spectrum, and I'm sorry, I didn't repeat the other ones if they.
I think we got it.
Yes, we do. So I always say first and foremost, our goals are speech and language and learning. However, with those, a lot of the times, children on the opposite spectrum come in. We also see ADHD, dysgraphia, dyslexia, dyscalculia. It looks, again, a little bit different between EC and elementary, but yes.
No questions here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so adventure play. If any of you have ever done adventure play, you might know a little bit about it. It's a very unique opportunity that we have all through the school year as well as during summer. It's for kiddos ages 6 and up, so 6 to 12. They have to be a little bit older. That's what they're expected to do out there is a lot of independence. It's all self-directed outdoor play. And what you see them sitting on, this is last summer, they helped build. Okay, so they're using tools out there, they're using materials to help or to build and create. But it's all child-led. And they're working on things like problem solving and creative thinking, and negotiating with their peers, generalizing what they've been learning in their classrooms to the outdoors. We do have play workers that, you know, obviously come behind them and tinker and make sure everything is safe and sturdy. And also support them in that creation. The nuts and bolts, Monday through Friday, 9 to 12, it's $1,600 for the month. The most important thing about AP Adventure Play is our registration process looks a little bit different for those who are new to Adventure Play. We do require a visit outside. It's a 1-day visit. Maybe 2-day visit. I don't know, 1 or 2-day visit. But those are completed between October and December. So those visit days have already passed for kiddos who are new to Adventure Play. But if you have talked to myself or Wes already and, you know, signed up for a visit day and scheduled that, you're good to go. It's just if you're new and have not completed that yet, you can register without that. You have a question? Yeah.
Oh, is that the same time as the language program?
Yes, yes, they both run 9 to noon. So it is a little different than our school year. It's usually an after-school program. But yes, 9 to noon as well. So you do have to pick one for your child. And then this is one of my favorites, because my kiddos come every year too, is our siblings and slash staff day camp. This is for the kiddos who don't necessarily need those language interventions, but it's an opportunity for staff members, kiddos to come, like my own. And also siblings, kiddos who are in the language program. So often, you know, parents don't get that option, just drop them off in one slot. I myself would love a one drop off, but it's their opportunity to also be involved in the camp, have fun. They're involved in all of the same Fun Friday events, and all of that. So they're in a classroom with paraeducators who lead the group. They still have theme-based learning that they go through, and a full schedule for the day. But again, it's 9 to noon, Monday through Friday, and it's 12.
For the sibling day camp, when you're registering a sibling, do they also need a therapist and teacher?
That's just for our language program. These kiddos, now acceptance to the sibling program is dependent on acceptance to the language program, obviously. So they would come together.
So maybe I just missed that. Late, but in terms of the language program and acceptance, what was that then?
We're gonna
Oh,
go,
you're
we're gonna
gonna
go
get
through the
there.
process in
Yeah.
just a second.
Okay, fine.
Actually,
And-
it might be the next.
We do have a question
Okay.
online. So my son's brother will be 2 on June 17th. Can he attend?
I love that. I would say call me.
Yeah. Reach out to Marie.
Yeah, reach out to Mo.
Yep.
We have the option for that, because,
No, it's the full month, yeah, so we run, the first technical day, is June 3rd. This year, we do have like a meet the teacher day on the 2nd. But June 2nd through the 27th, and it's a full month and a commitment. For those of you who do need an early morning option, if that 9 o'clock start time is just too late, we do offer early morning drop off that begins at 8 a.m. And the kiddos are usually out on the playgrounds, playing with their educators for about 30 or 40 minutes before they transition to their classrooms. What that looks like. That's Monday through Friday, and it's $225 for the month. After school enrichment, so if that 12 o'clock time pickup is too difficult, or just not an option, like it would be for me. You know, 3 o'clock is how long that one runs. So it's between 12 and 3 that your kiddos would just transition into their afternoon class. And they would again have a full schedule of the day. They have 5 art classes that they would kind of rotate throughout the week. But something to take note of is that is Monday through Thursday. Everybody on Fridays releases at noon, but Monday through Thursday, they're able to come for afternoon enrichment.
Is that week by week? Either option?
Okay, yeah, it's for the full month.
And that is for the sibling one and the language?
Yes, yes. Now I will say the afternoon fills up really quickly. I do everything that I can to get everybody in and siblings in and all of that. So when we talk about some of our process for our admissions process, I'll let you know more about that.
And are they together?
They're depending on their age, right? So our siblings groups, there's like a 2 and 3-ish year old classroom. There's like our 3 to maybe about 5-year-old classrooms. And then like 5 to 7, it just depends on the year and who's coming, what siblings. We do have a lot of siblings that have come for multiple years, and a lot of times they just move out in their class. But if the kiddos are like 3 years apart, then they're not gonna be, in the same classroom.
Question about that. So like last year, Alan came, still talks about her dog. And Titus, how he got sick.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I do remember that.
But since she will be turning 4 in June, would she move up to a different class or would she still be with? the younger-
She'll still be with the same age peers, so she'll probably move up.
Okay.
Again, I don't know how the cookie's gonna crumble per se, but she'll move up with her same age
Okay,
peers.
so she wouldn't be with like the 2-year-olds.
No.
Okay.
And like my daughter was gonna move up to the next level.
Two questions. Can you repeat the dates of camp and can you repeat the start and end times of camp?
Yes, so the dates of camp are June 2nd through the 27th. June 2nd is our Meet the Teacher Day. June 3rd is our official start day. And then the time for the morning portion is 9 to noon. If you are also signed up for the afternoon enrichment, it goes from noon to 3. Right? All right. Okay, the application process. If you're a current para student, it's pretty easy. You just sign up. Because we already know that you'll benefit from the program. You know that you're responding to our interventions, that kind of thing. If you are a returning community camper, you will complete the application form. You will, I skipped down here for just a second. You'll do our teacher and therapist questionnaires, which you cannot receive until I send them to you physically. It's me. It's not an automated thing. It's me sending them to you. So once I see that your form is complete, I'll say, oh, they want to do camp. Let me send them their teacher and therapist questionnaires. Okay. Then if you want to, if you have evaluations you would like to share, I always say more information is great information. But it's not required. So it's truly just if you would like to share any evaluations with me. Okay. The teacher and therapist questionnaires are kind of the biggest hang up for some families. Once those have been sent out to you, make sure you send them on to your teachers, your therapists, and have them send them back to me as quickly as you can. Because then if your child's file is considered complete, and I can then move on to a review, right? So that means that registration doesn't necessarily mean you have a spot at camp. It just means that I know you're interested, and I'm gonna send you these forms so that you guys can have them send them back to me. Okay?
Is it just speech therapists or you want?
I mean, honestly, I would love all of the therapists. So if you need more than one form, I can always send that. But again, it's up to you. We like to see, we do a teacher questionnaire more so we know kind of where the kiddo's learning is, how they do in a group, things like that. And then the therapists obviously are more so for, what they're working on in individual services. So if you have a speech, if you have an OT, you have a play therapist, again, more information.
And for the siblings, they don't see that.
This is
Not
just
even the
for
teacher
language. Yeah, no, just the language campers need those forms. And then if you are a new community camper, there is just a new camper application fee, obviously the application form itself, any evaluations that you're willing to share. There is a case history form. So again, more information for us since we don't know your sweet babies. And then that teacher and therapist questionnaire.
And we had two questions in the chat in case you're thinking the same questions, I'll answer them. But one was, when do the kids eat if they're going to aftercare? And the answer is at the end of the camp day. So they'll eat before they transition to aftercare.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have any LDC families in here. That's a program that the Cruise Center runs, but in case anyone's online, you would apply as the new camper process if you're already in a
Yes.
Cruise program.
Yeah.
But not
If
in a
they've never
parish
been.
program.
Yes. And then along those same lines, because I do get this question a lot, as far as the lunch and snack and lunch is provided from home. Unless you want to opt for the Simply Fresh option, which is a hot lunch service that we have in our campus. So, but yes, everybody does eat at 11:30 on the dot during camp. This is a good slide to take a quick picture of if you want. It's just kind of little details that we have. You do receive 10% off your tuition if you pay in full by this date, February 28th. Last year was a leap day, so it's kind of cool. Or leap year. New camper application fee is $50. It's non-refundable. We do have a withdrawal or refund date of April 25th. So if you would like, if you go through the process, if you're accepted, if you just say, oh, you know, my summer plans changed or whatever it might be, you have until April 25th here. Right? Payment options are, you know, it's all online, credit card, debit card. Application process, again, applications will not be considered until they are complete. And I read them in order of which they are complete. Right, so in which they come to me. I have a big old stack on my desk that I go through them all. And yes, if your camper is admitted, then I would notify you via.
Quick question. It's my first time to apply, so
Yes.
there's no way to get ahead of the registration process, like get this one. Okay, so I have
But I
it.
love that question, because I wish there was.
I didn't prepare.
As a mom that doesn't fix herself too for the summer, I wish there was. No, it's really registration on that day, the 21st is when it opens. And then as soon as you can get those. forms
So
back to me,
realistically, we probably won't
um,
complete the file registration on
On day
21st.
one, now I have had some parents do that, it's impressive, but
Okay,
probably
okay,
not.
just-
Yeah, I would say within the first couple weeks. Is really, don't expect an email from me on the first day, it's just me, and my inbox gets flooded, obviously, with like over 200 applications, so. Just give me the first couple weeks and I will be in contact with you. See it, I will not forget you, so.
So yeah, basically we could submit the forms like after.
Right, okay, right, but you're gonna have to wait for me to email.
Okay,
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, okay. And in terms of the, like the speech language evaluation too, that's.
yes, yes, okay, yeah, and if you don't have one, some of our kiddos are so new that they just don't even have an evaluation. Don't feel like you need to go and get one, it's just if you would like to share one with me, then
Okay.
it'd be awesome.
So when will we expect those forms after we register?
Like after you register.
Right.
Within the
Since it's
first,
just-
it's just, yeah, within the first week, and I go in order of, you know, it does keep it in order of who's done what, so don't worry about that.
So on the 21st, it's available on the
On-
parish.
Online, it is on the parish website, it's done through Camp Brain, which is just a separate Camp Brain. Mhm. But the login will be there, it'll say under Camp Acorn, it'll say register here, or register now, you can click it and it'll take you to the website, or to that website.
It says, we'll be notified email if we've been accepted. What about denials?
You will also be notified via email. Sometimes I do call, I try, but a lot of times it's email just because I don't have the manpower to do it all, but, I do in those emails, I will list like specific things that I've seen or noticed. But please know too that I do my due diligence. I know that you're just giving me paper and that doesn't tell the whole child. So if I do have any questions, I'll either call the therapist if you've given a release, I'll call his teachers, I'll call you guys. So I try my best to communicate that with you. So, right, but if you do have any questions, call me.
If there is is there a transaction fee of paying tuition by credit card rather than direct debit?
I love that question too. I'm not sure. I don't think,
I think it's rolled into
I
the,
think it's rolled in.
Yeah.
Would you mind emailing me and I'll check with our business office?
Yeah.
That's okay.
just to be sure.
Yeah, just to be sure.
Okay.
Another slide. This information, and by the way, I'm sorry, there are our
For sure.
brochures on the table.
Yeah.
So it has all of this information, but this is just kind of our camp at a glance. So it gives good dates, times for things. You'll notice that, meet the teacher, again, June 2nd, first day is June 3rd, last day. And it just lets you know what times all programs.
And this might be a silly question, but the early morning drop off starts date, but it's any time before 9, basically.
Yes, yeah,
And then is it all the Circle Drive?
yes, yeah. Carpool is,
And drop off?
yes, correct. Yeah, and the 8 o'clock time, if it's early morning, then usually it's you drop off in the office. But so there's nobody outside to meet you, but other than that, it's also. That's me. I always feel weird with this slide, but that's my information. Guys, the best way to reach me is email, phone call. I'm during camp season, I'm constantly at my desk, so I'm usually able to reach, or you're able to reach me. I am not here on Fridays, so I'm here Monday through Thursday, but other than that. And then this is Josie.
Am one of the members of the Student Family Services, so here, like at school, I'm called a scaling helper, I'm one of the therapists. But during the summer, we are going to have a sibling support group. So what that looks like is for the children who are at least in elementary, maybe entering first grade in the fall, they can attend and sign up. It is free to you guys. And it's really, its focus is to help the kids build a sense of community, have opportunities to discuss some of the common joys and concerns for having a sibling with a difference or different needs. And then we meet 2 times a week for about 45 minutes. And the first session in the week is usually focused on education. It's like a psychoeducation, so we're gonna teach kids skills, we're gonna maybe discuss some of the like differences in the brain and how brains work. And then the second session is dedicated to some expressive and emotional processing, just to give them space to, again, connect and have a sense of community. The kids that have attended in the past, like, love it, like, they were like, this is our favorite thing at camp, they come every year, so it's a really great time. And if you are interested, you can use the QR code and it should scan, so you can just send your name and email and we will get in touch with you and let you know.
That's it.
Yes.
We're a few years off from this. But is this something that is during camp hours?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
It's only 40 hours.
yeah, so we usually try to coordinate with whoever is signed up for it. We try to find a time where it works well for the camp and for our schedules, and then we'll go get them from the class, they'll spend 45 minutes with us, and then they'll return to us.
Do they have to be signed up for the sibling camp?
So-
attend this?
So it's either, if they're, well, they don't have to be a part of the sibling camp, if they don't. Do they need to be part of
But they
Yeah.
can already be on campus.
Yeah.
So typically it is the siblings who are already on campus that are.
And then, it could be kids who have been previous parish kids or kids who's like their sibling was a previous parish kid or their sibling is enrolled in some of the career services as well. So it could be a sibling of those groups.
And it's not something that you need to worry about registering for next week. We just like to give you this information because it is pretty unique what they offer for siblings specifically. And it's really kind of a soft landing for them if they are needing to process anything or just feel a sense like she said. So you don't need to worry about it for next week necessarily, but just so you know it's there. Any other questions?
Do you know anywhere that does this year round?
That's, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
there's always possibilities. I mean,
Here.
I mean, and that's the great thing about the Career Center is that, that's one of the things we've been so fortunate about is that when needs come up, we are able to flex and build things. So that's how our language development class happened. This is how some of our camps happen.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, hit me up. So I'm Amy. I'm the director of the Career Center. I'm a speech pathologist. Nice to meet everybody. If you weren't already confused enough by the one camp at Camp Acorn, I'm about to tell you about 4 more camps.
Yep.
So,
This is our favorite time of year.
I know, it really is. It is drinking from the fire hose. And last year I was like, I did tell our head school, I was like, I don't think I can do it next year. It's just too much. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
She just kind of appeased me, but like, yes, because it is so much fun. So all applications for Career Center camps, all the camps you're about to hear about, open a week later than Camp Acorn. And that is by parent request. Parents are telling us, I'm filling all this out at once. It's stressing me out, and it's my kid gonna get in, so we're giving you a week to breathe and then doing everything again. All applications can be found on our website. They'll go live on midnight on the 28th. And if teacher surveys are needed as part of the camp application process, you will be asked to send them. So we won't be sending them. You'll be sending them unless your child is a parish student, then we'll go ahead and send it directly to the teacher. So we'll talk about our 3-day camps first, and then we'll talk about our sleepaway camp. Do we have a question online?
Is there a transaction? Mary jumped on and answered. Never mind.
What was the answer?
Okay, I'm sorry, of course. So the question was, is there a transaction fee in paying tuition by credit card rather than direct deposit? And the answer is no fee is charged on our side. Woohoo.
All right, great.
Oh, sorry.
Close the chat
Yeah.
and then get back. It's kind of sneaky. Okay, so our first one is summer social club. Did you guys have a question?
Well, what's time does the sign up open? There's
Midnight on the 28th.
midnight.
Yeah, the applications will be, the links will be active at that time.
The other one is
And
also midnight on the.
Camp Acorn's at 10 a.m.
Summer social club, so this meets one time a week for an hour and a half. It meets in the month of June, so during the same hours as camp, during the same dates as Camp Acorn. We have groups for 5 and 6-year-olds and groups for 7 and 8-year-olds. So one of the groups will meet Friday after camp at noon to 1:30. The other one will meet Wednesdays after camp at 3 to 4:30. And the cost is $540 for the month, for the one time a week for the month. This uses social thinking strategies to work on group projects together. So if you guys remember group projects from school. And how difficult it is to negotiate with people and learning people's perspectives and understanding what you're doing. So we're gonna be doing group projects together that the children decide. And it's gonna be led by our social thinking clinicians to help facilitate that understanding of perspectives. New clients will have a consultation to make sure that this is a great camp for them, and that consultation is about an hour, so it's our therapy rate. But if you're an existing client, we already know you, it's not a problem. And enrollment on this camp is first come, first served. There's no deposit. Once you're accepted, payment in full will be processed. It says April through June, which is interesting. I think it's in April only. Yeah.
Payment in full
typo on
process.
me. Sorry, guys.
Mine's in April, maybe yours.
Maybe that was it.
Maybe
Yeah.
that was it.
Questions about summer social class?
So for the consultation, do you have to do that
Yes.
before January 28th? Or you sign up and then you would set up the consultation, and if it's not a good fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so apply first, and then we'll contact you to schedule the consultation.
Okay.
And then we're gonna let everybody know about all the camps by no later than spring break. But you'll likely know at the time of the consultation. Okay. Camp Super Writers. So Camp Super Writers is a handwriting camp. Handwriting is not a lot of fun to just like drill and practice, but in Camp Super Writers, they're making it fun. They're doing theme-based, they're incorporating sensory activities, they're doing their OT magic to make this more fun. It's for ages, it says 4 to 8, but let me tell you, it's 4 to 8-ish. We have had kids as old as 7 super writers who fit with the group and who needed the intervention. So if your child's outside of that age range, just give me a call and let's talk about it and see if this is the right camp for them. We have 3 different sessions, 3 different dates for sessions. The June 16th and the July 14th ones are both Monday through Thursdays. The first one, the June 3rd through 12th, because camp starts on a Tuesday, that group starts on a Tuesday, so we will meet that Friday of that first week. So, but all 3 sessions have 8 one-hour groups in them. So when you apply, you will put which session it is that you're interested in. And which times. The children work in dyads, so in groups of 2. every once in a while, we have kids that we think will mesh so well, we do a group of 3, but it's rare. It's usually groups of 2. They are placed in the dyad based on their age and their abilities. For the younger kids, they need to be writing capital letters and introducing and writing capital letters, not well, that's the idea of camp, right? And for older kids, they need to be writing words. So enrollment is first come, first served. There is also a consultation if we don't already know you, and that is about 30 minutes, $75. If you have an OT evaluation or your child's getting OT now, it'd be great to have that information, but you know, again, it's not 100% necessary, but it's helpful. And then there's no deposit, payments processed in full near the end of May. And once you're placed in a group, then you'll get an agreement to sign from me, an enrollment agreement. Questions about supervisors?
So their place, there's 2 kids with 1 OT.
Yep.
Is it based on age or ability?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, if she's sick, she wouldn't be it, like, an 8.
6-year-olds are hard, because they're right.
Yeah.
Honestly, 6-year-olds are the hardest ones to place because some 6-year-olds do fit better in a younger group and some 6-year-olds do fit better in an older group. So we try to be really mindful of their ability, their maturity when we're making that decision. We would try not to do a 6 and an 8-year-old, but we might do a 6 and a 7, and that would be kind of toes the line between those 2 age ranges.
We have one question, let me see.
Yeah.
If Camp Acorn ends at 12, does a parent need to be there for that 30 minutes before the 12:30 start?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
So we did this last year and it worked out really well. Camp Acorn, carpool pickup takes a minute.
Please be patient with us.
Yeah. So it does eat up some of that time in between. And if your child is getting another career therapy, we will try to schedule that therapy between 12 and 12:30. But if not, and you're only doing super riders, we will make arrangements to take your kid from carpool line to Career Center and wait for your OT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no pickup is needed, but you
Right.
might need to coordinate with your career therapist.
Yeah. It'll all be coordination.
Yep.
We all run around campus picking up kids at noon.
Noon's busy.
Noon's busy. Okay, and then Kaufman Apraxia Boot Camp. So this is the month of July. So this is our only on-site July camp. July 7th through the 24th, Monday through Thursday, 9 o'clock to 11:30. It's for ages 3 to 6. The cost is $3,600. $100. This is for children with childhood apraxia, speech or phonological disorders. It is led by the speech pathologist who've had extended mentorship and training with Nancy Kaufman. That's the name of Kaufman Apraxia Boot Camp. She is a world-renowned leader in treatment of childhood apraxia, and did a parent ed course last night. If any of you were there. The therapists have been mentored by her, and then during the day, the children will work with their therapists on their goals, but they also have those goals incorporated during motor time, during music time, and during language time. We want you guys to come and observe through the one-way mirror, so you can sign up for a time to do that, and then on Thursdays, parents actually come in and participate in camp, so you're learning how to support your family. This enrollment is not first come, first served. So this is a super popular camp. We did some research a couple of years ago that was published this year. We've already had a lot of interest in camp from around the nation. We will take up to 20 applicants for the 8 spots in camp and screen them all. Or we will take applications until mid-February. Just whatever comes first. The 20 kids or the application deadline. Once we screen a kiddo, it is determined if they're ready for kind of the intensive nature of the camp. There's a consultation fee for that of $80. And then acceptance decisions will make by spring break. Any questions?
If you're only able to attend like a portion of the camp, is that?
I
forget
about really- You really need to attend all 3 weeks. We find kids do the best at all 3 weeks. The first week is figuring out the kids, the second week they're learning, by the 3rd week they have it down. I would have a hard time accepting this much money from you for. Yes,
Does this camp application open on the 28th also?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
And lastly, we will take your child to camp. So we take 60 kids every summer to Camp for All. Camp for All is in Burton, Texas, which is near Brenham. It is an all abilities camp. It's a incredible, lovely place for children who participate in camp activities. The camp dates are July 6th through 11th. It's for children ages 8 to 16. The cost is $1,750. This camp is very generously underwritten by the Hamill Foundation. So the cost of camp is actually $300 more, and every child gets a $300 scholarship to make this $1,750. And then we hold some money back, so if you need additional financial assistance, we can offer that as well. We always want fun.
Yeah, we love it.
That's
We
what
love
I mean,
talking,
that's
yes.
right. We never want a kid who wants to go to camp not be able to go to camp if it's a money thing. Like, it's an awesome feeling to say yes to families who need help. During the camp day, the campers will attend social thinking lessons based on social concepts needed for success. Clearly, the whole camp is social, right? These kids are living together, they're going to activities together the entire time they're negotiating social situations. The camp director is Renee Attaway Store. Renee is a speaker for social thinking, a long time Parish School employee and contractor
Everything.
for like I think literally 25 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And she mentors the staff for social thinking at the Parish School as well as the Career Center. So she is the one that had this crazy idea and got asked to do this. She's done this for years, and her counselors have been with her for years too, which is but they also do regular camp activities like swimming, canoeing, horseback riding, challenge courses, campfires, lunch shows, dances. There is we do separate the children by age. So we do have all the younger kids are going to activities and all the older kids are going to different activities. And they do get together one time, everybody, well, for meals and then for like evening activities. But other than that, we have the younger kids and the older kids doing separate things. A teacher survey is needed, so that will come to you if you apply. The consultation fee for new campers is $145, and that will be with Renee. And then the deposit will be due, it says with the application, but really it's upon acceptance. If you've been to Camp Acorn, Camp Social before, you're pretty much, and you want to come again, you're pretty much coming. But new applicants will have to have the consultation. And then once you are accepted, you will get a camper packet closer to camp that has all the details, like who you want to be your cabin mate, what to bring. This camp will fill in a week. So if you are interested, this is the application that we can first.
Yeah.
That is it. I think that's it, right?
Let's look.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a summary sheet. If you want to take a picture of.
And I realize I can also send you all these things as well. I'm sorry that I didn't offer that in the beginning, but I will also send out all of this information.
A lot of dates, a lot of information there.
Which there is a limit for the number of students expected for the criteria group. Is there a limit for the language camp?
Yes, so for each classroom, there can only be up to 10 students for the language program. Now siblings looks a little different. You know, it might be up to 12 or 13 students. I did 16 once with the oldest group and boy, was that busy. So I try and keep it below 15. Yeah.
There's only one class per age group.
No, so it depends on the need, depends on who applies, and that's the same as our school year, you know, we need the kiddos where they're at and the levels depend on who's coming through our door. So last year I had, I think 3 like emerging language classrooms, I had like 1 preschool, I know I only had 1 upper class, you know, it just kind of depends.
I would definitely say it's in your best interest to apply and get your paperwork in as soon as possible for all the camps. They're all very popular for a reason. Want to get it back to your paperwork.
And Bailey is, I'm part of our admissions team, Bailey is part of our admissions team, and then this is Sarah, who's the director of our admissions team. We've all applied all of our children to camp, and ourselves, as we're working here, we are like, oh, let's do it. So.
Like, no one talked to me.
Yeah.
It's
It's 10 a.m.
I mean, I sure want to go.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Well, and actually, you know, what is really unique too about camp and some of your camps as well is that you parents can come on campus and observe. So we do have those in each of our classrooms. On the parish campus, we have one-way mirrors. Let me get it right. One-way mirrors. So on one side, the kiddos are making silly faces because it's a mirror in the classroom, and on the other, you're watching them do it with a headset that the teacher or therapist are wearing speakers for, so you can hear everything in the classroom. So there is that opportunity to kind of see your kiddos in action in the classroom, which is so rare. And to kind of hear the language that they're using and, you know, see all the things that they're implementing. And then the hope is for then you guys to then be able to generalize that at home if you would like. So.
Are there specific reasons that you can think of why a student may not be
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of factors. But I would say, depending on their age, right? But if you're applying for our early childhood, I think our biggest thing, and across, oh no, I need to charge it, across the board, is are they able to access learning within a group of 10 students? Are they able to attend at circle time and participate? Is their body needing more help staying with the group? Or are they able to kind of, you know, do that with some redirections? When it becomes harder for us to support is when the kiddos are requiring one-on-one type supports frequently, right? If they're needing help transitioning in every single transition, if they're needing somebody to sit behind them during circle and help them attend, things like that. But obviously we have things in place that we can support some of that. But if that's their main need, if it's more like their body or their attention, then that might be a reason. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.